Cloaked in the shadows. It's cloaked in the shadows.
What is Cloaked in the Shadows?
It's a podcast.
Yes, and what kind of podcast is it?
There's paranormal, alternative.
And what are we doing today?
We're doing slightly paranormal in some ways, but also a bit alternative.
Yeah, and we've got guests with us today. Not one, we've got two guests with us. And one of the guests we've had on before, fantastic and bonkers, good friend of mine, Eric Heath. And Eric, you brought a friend of you today, haven't you, as well? Trying to lock the score.
Yeah, a bit more than a friend. Yeah, it's my partner Vicky, yeah.
Now, see, Vicky, tell the people who don't know you and tell people a little bit about yourself, okay?
What's the tell? I'm an artist. I do a lot of the artwork for the little record label we run together, Plenty Wenlock Records. We've just started doing some prints as well of the artwork for releases, and that's been really, really fun. Actually seeing how how people enjoy having something like that that's a bit different to what they've been used to.
Yeah, they've been buying the print rather than the CD, which is kind of interesting as well.
I'm not sure what's good or bad.
No, it's good. There's a sort of an angle, I guess, where instead of buying a physical CD, if you don't have a CD player, you buy a piece of art and you get that download with it. And some people, right, that's less clutter, I guess, than for them. But also we've done a cup. We did a tea cup for my album Tea, which has done really well actually. It's just gone up, but it's got Vicky made the remade the design for the artwork, the album artwork, out of actual tea leaves. So you got a tea cup.
Oh, that is brilliant! That doing a teacup from tea leaves, yeah, brilliant stuff. So,
and the coaster as well, yeah.
And the coaster, of course. Now, Amanda, what's going on? What are we doing today? Just to make people aware.
We're doing a Christmas special.
We are. Now, what we're going to do, everybody who's tuning in, is we've all got a couple of weird stories or myths in some cases or whatever. Anyhow, talk about Christmas. So we're going to take it in turns anyway. So, Amanda, you pick who goes first. Or do you want to go first?
I can go first if you want. I've got a tradition which is called burning your clock. And this is what I found out about it. It says, on the shortest day of the year, Brits show their displeasure by burning their clocks. There is a festival called to mark the winter solstice called Burning of the Clocks, and it's celebrated in Brighton. The event includes a parade of as many as 1,000 participants every year and ends with burning the massive clock. I had to be careful how I said that as well.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I could see the potential problems of that, Amanda. That's unusual, that one. That's very
you know someone in Brighton. Have they ever talked about this?
I have to ask. That's the Junk Boy guys, because they live around Brighton. I have to ask them if that's a real thing, because otherwise it sounds like they don't like time very much.
Yeah, I've got a mate that lives down at uni. Next time I speak to him, I'm going to ask him about that as well. But the trouble is, knowing him, he wouldn't be talking about burning clocks, right? That's all I'm going to say there.
Yeah, it's there are lots of strange customs around. Not particularly for Christmas, but there's the sort of burning tar barrel one. But running along with that down a street. But I've not heard of the clock, so that's a new one.
Yeah, excellent. Very weird indeed. So, right, okay, we'll go over to you two now. We'll keep it in man woman. So, Eric, give us your strange one.
Well, there's the story of Babushka. It's a Russian story. Babushka meaning grandmother. I think probably most people will be more aware of it through Babushka. It's slightly different spelling, but Babushka, the Kate Bush song. And she was an old woman who sort of met the three kings, the three wise men, as they were walking through. And she apparently she's got the most immaculate house in the village, and they come in to stay. And they offer for her to go to see the young king, the baby Jesus, and she says, "Oh no, I'm far too busy." She's got a bit of, it seems like she's got OCD and she's cleaning everything constantly. "Oh, I haven't got a thing to give him," and so they say, "Oh well, follow on." And then she finally finds some toys. She says that she's lost her child. which might explain why she's cleaning a lot. But she is, so she follows on from them and misses the baby, and is apparently still looking for him now. So I thought it's a perfect story, but on the sense of that it just completely just missing a bit, just being a little bit too late, a bit too distracted in your life, and then you go and miss the Son of God.
Yeah,
There's a bit in it in the story where it was I can't see, the innkeeper says, I can't show you the infant king, but I can show you where he was.
Yeah, it's like sliding door scenario, basically, isn't it? It's like, here's where it could have happened now.
Yeah, this is what you could have won, the baby Jesus, yeah.
It made me think of my mum then, because she's always making excuses like she's too busy, and I can imagine her missing really important things.
Well, like giving birth and stuff, yeah. Know your mum, yes.
Quite like the idea. I didn't, before I read it fully, I quite like the idea that she just didn't care. So she's had these three wise men come past. She went, nah, not that interested in that. What, this baby thing? Nah, Son of God? No, don't believe you. Got better things to do. But no, it just turns out that she was a bit late.
Right, well, stay on your side then. Vicky, what story you got to share tonight? Or first one, anyway.
One of my newly found, relatively anyway, favourite stories for this time of year would be the Llwyd. The grey mare.
The grey mare.
I wasn't aware of it at all until we got our home in Wales, just over the border, and discovered this thing, and basically involves a horse's skull with a sheet hanging from it, sometimes decorated, and it's carried around from town to town by a group of guys, and the idea is that they go and knock on residents' doors and request admittance to the house by song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have to. If it knocks your door, you have to respond in song with reasons why it can't come in. Whilst basically secretly wanting it to come in because it's good luck, but you have to go through the custom anyway and give it the reasons why not until you relent, and then in they'll come and steal your food and drink, and then go on to the next.
Wow, that's really random. That certainly, like, obviously it shows it how it changes from area to area to area. Because I've never heard that.
Oh no, it's a friend of ours, Sean Ed, had one. She had a band called Party Gungog, which is quite a gruesome name because Gungog was the hill of the gibbet, so it was a hanging field. So hers is like party hanging, yeah. Anyway, so they had one, and they used to take it to gigs, and then they gave it to a troupe. They actually gave it to a proper. Well, it's around. What's supposed Dinas?
Dinas.
Yeah, it's up at Dinas Mouth now.
Right, okay. I know Amanda doesn't like spiders. What do you two like with spiders?
I'm all right. Vicky really isn't.
I hate them. Well, I don't hate them. As an animal, I don't hate them. I think they're fascinating. They're amazing things. I just can't be anywhere near one. Unfortunately, I wish it was different, but. Ugh.
Have either of you two heard of much of the Christmas spider from the Ukraine?
I've not heard of the Christmas spider.
This
no.
is new.
I picked this one out because I know what Amanda's like with spiders, and I had a feeling, Vicky, you might not be a big fan of them either. So, well, it's come from Ukraine. This one, and it's apparently the myth of it comes from that a poor widow and her kids cultivated a Christmas tree from a pine cone but couldn't afford any decorations, and then on Christmas morning they woke up and found the tree blanketed in cobwebs, with sunlight then transformed into gold and silver. And apparently it's meant to be trees across Ukraine now are meant to be decorated with little spider ornaments, and I can't pronounce the word, and fake spider webs, which are said to be the origin of the sparkly tinsel that shimmers at Christmas time all over the world.
That's nice.
That's lovely.
So it kind of reminds me that I was reading a few sort of traditions beforehand, and the one in the Czech Republic is that women stand at the front the door and throw one of their shoes over their shoulder.
All right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I've got a Czech friend, so I'm going to check it if it's true.
It's interesting. It seems to vary because this one seems to come from me, but they're not sure whether it's Germany or the Ukraine. But in Germany, it's something about, they reckon it might be based on an older European superstition about spiders bringing luck and stuff. Although, if it's black spiders in Germany, it's not good luck. Or conventionally, it's bad luck to destroy a spider's web before the spider is safely out of the way.
That's fair.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, we keep getting spiders coming in this flat, and she keeps saying they're like hands, but like you just keep on destroying all the spiders' webs, don't you? So
well, it gets to the point where there's so many, it's like you want to walk down the corridor without getting entangled in it.
We've got harbismen. They're all right. They're the 5-legged ones, aren't they? They're not too bad, but weirdly they seem to eat each other most of the time.
oh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, there was one other thing that I thought you reminded me of anyway. That I was told quite recently that if you're to pick a snail up, you have to let the snail go into its shell because it has such a sort of adhesive hold with its foot that it needs to relax that. Otherwise, it can harm it. So you have to tap the snail on its shell. It goes in, and then you pick it straight off and then move it. It's quite a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I've got to ask you both then. Obviously, I know you're the proud owners of a cat. You've showed us before. Your friend.
I wouldn't say proud.
Okay. What are they like then regarding spiders? I know some cats hate them.
Yeah, my mother's cats would eat spiders. Our cat has retired on. She's retired on playing. She's retired on anything really. We did some. Sort of swung some string in front of her and she just ignored it. Yeah, she's about 18. Yeah, she's had a good innings, I guess.
She could probably let a spider crawl over her and not notice.
She's looked at flies and just ignored them. Yeah. No interest.
I don't know about cats, but I did have a dog who was petrified of spiders. Absolutely terrified of them. If you unfortunately killed one, you couldn't even leave it on the floor. She was terrified of the body as well.
Huskies.
Bizarre, that, yeah. So, right, anyway, let's move on. I didn't say before how many we're going to do, so I've got about 3 or 4 stories. How many have you two got over there as well? A couple of things to talk about.
We've got a couple more. We've got a joint one as well. But no, you do another.
Yeah, do another one, okay. Amanda, give us your second story.
Okay, so this is about Christmas puddings. It says the Christmas pudding dates back to the medieval era and is a boiled fruit cake that's heavily spiced, doused in brandy and briefly set on fire. Additionally, coins are hidden inside as an extra gift. The pudding's medieval origin comes complete with some very specific instructions from the Roman Catholic Church, which say that pudding should be made on the 25th Sunday after Trinity, that it should be prepared with 13 ingredients to represent Christ and the 12 apostles, and that every family member should stir it in turn from east to west to honour the journey the 3 wise men took to visit the baby Jesus.
Oh.
You just nodded your head, Eric. Do you know that story, I say?
No. I was just mainly I was nodding because my grandparents they used to do a Christmas pudding and they would always put money in it. They would always put something like 5p's in it, and you'd be eating the Christmas pudding and then it's absolutely baking hot 5p burning your tongue.
Ow! Ow!
Yeah.
I know my nanny used to do that, and she lived when I was about 11. But when my mum and dad wouldn't let me ever touch it because most of them didn't trust her. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it might be somebody they're afraid she's going to bung about £2.50 in it and 5 pieces or something like that.
Just put a note in it, yeah. No, they used to put whiskey on it and then light it, and you get this what looked like a meth's kind of flame, really, really low one that just licked all over it, and then and then it would be incredibly hot.
I know a mate of mine, he got drunk on that Christmas pudding once he did, about some years ago. I've told you the story, haven't I? And some of you've met as well, where his mum actually, we think she was a bit, having a bit of dementia coming on, but she poured half a bottle of whiskey into the Christmas pudding.
Wow.
Vicky's mum gets a Christmas cake every year and feeds it. And how often do you feed it?
I've just done the last feeding a couple of days ago.
So how many?
Usually do 2.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can definitely taste it in it.
Absolutely, yeah. And the trick is to always pour a bit more than you're actually going to put into the cake so that you can have a good excuse for a little one.
I said, I like Christmas cake, didn't you? A bit of an extra flavour. Like, you're not a big
I
fan
don't
of
like
it.
it. No.
I know. She's awkward, this one. Like, she doesn't even like Christmas pudding particularly, do you? So.
I like it in small doses.
Never tried it. Never even tried Christmas pudding.
No, but you, Vicky makes mince pies and does it traditionally. So you make it out of lard, don't you?
Not for you.
Oh. No, not for me. No, but she does. Yeah. One Christmas we had because you used to. What's your tradition of throwing the dough? What do you do?
Oh, grief! I don't even know where that came from.
I've heard of that. Yeah, tell people who haven't heard that. So, have you heard of throwing the dough, Amanda?
No.
Yeah, I've heard of it before. That one. Yeah.
I think. If I remember rightly, my mum started it because I was in a bad mood that day and I just couldn't get out of it. So she'd finished making the mince pies and had this mound of leftover pastry that had been rolled twice. And the rule is you don't roll it more than twice, you ruin it. So she just soaked it in water and threw it against the wall, and there it stuck. So it's become a thing to do every year now.
And you put it on the ceiling once.
I did get it on the ceiling once, but yeah, the idea now is to get it on the wall and then mould it into shapes.
Shapes, we'll call them shapes. But one year you made me. Well, no, I demanded we weren't going to waste that, and we made, was it a boot? No, a sock, didn't we?
A foot.
A foot. Yeah. A Yule foot.
Yule foot. Yeah.
What's the maddest thing you've ever baked for Christmas time? You've done a few bits and pieces, haven't you?
I remember I was trying to make mince pies and they all melded into one, so it didn't look that great, but it tasted really nice, didn't it, when we poured custard on it?
Yeah, that was banging. That was banging.
I'm gonna on the subject of mince pies. I'm going to shame Vicky now by we went out earlier and we were in a cafe and Vicky ordered a mince pie and then said, for a mince pie not made by me, this is good.
It was, yeah, it was decent. It wasn't anywhere near as good as what I can make. But it was decent. It was passable. Yeah.
But I think there's a big difference between doing that sort of stuff at home anyway. And obviously, like I said, buying them in the shops. I know when Amanda's done mince pies before and they've worked, they've come up really, really well, they have.
Yeah, they were a bit too sort of much dough and filling in.
Yeah.
I remember somebody getting one and going, these are heavy.
It was like a stew, it was full of that I think so, yeah. Right, wow. I'll do one of my little pieces here and we'll come back to you two then, because I know you've got some joint ones. I'll let you both choose, okay? The three of you choose, okay? I've got 2 more. Would you like to hear about the Yule Lads in Iceland or Kentucky Fried Christmas in Japan?
Oh, you do the KFC? Yeah. This is mad. I heard about this last year.
Yeah, I was to be honest, like, I'm not going to mention much about my day job, but yeah, I was talking about this in my day job today, my work, and one of the people I worked with said to me, "Oh yeah, me and my husband were there the other Christmas." I said, "I've never seen anything like it," because it's like it seemed to come up in the 70s. This did, and it seemed like they had a massive expansion over there in the 1970s, and it seems to have been on. This is interesting. On the 24th of December, because of the advertising, there's a lot of advertising over highlighting it as a treat for Christmas Day, and where they usually sell about 5 to 10 times as much than they do in typical days. And people sometimes get that obsessed with it. They're putting their order in 2-3 weeks before. It's absolutely. I've never seen anything like it.
I looked it up, and apparently it's that. Japan's not a Christian country. It doesn't have a tradition of Christmas. It's
1%. That's 1% of it. Yeah, so it's crazy.
So instead of it's sort of instead of it really being Christmas as such, it's more of a like celebrate to be a Western thing day, and so they order in enormous amounts of KFC, and KFC sort of barged in as the Christmas Western dinner. It's absolutely
That's what you're saying here. Like the first CEO of KFC in Japan, like we can't pronounce the gentleman's name. There is supposedly falsely marketed fried chicken as a traditional American Christmas food with sales in 1974. That just took off.
Yeah, just get your. I mean, we're going to go off and get our order, the veg order. There's a market up in a local town that's really easy to get it from. And meanwhile, some people in Tokyo are making sure they've got their KFC order in 3 weeks in advance.
Just got me. I've had a curry before for Christmas. I've never had anything like that. Have you ever been tempted on that, Amanda?
No, I'd like to go to Japan now for Christmas. I love KFC. I'll cook the turkey dinner when I get back.
A wonderful restaurant a little bit far away from us now, but it's a Persian restaurant, Persian fusion one, run by a chef who's actually he's a surgeon. And he did he does Christmas dinners, but he does them in a Persian inspired way, and I would absolutely love that. That would be fascinating.
1 year we'd love to do that.
I have had Persian food. You've never had it, have you? Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah,
beautiful.
Some stuff. Right. Anyway, on to you two then. Now you say you've got a few joint stories you want to do, haven't you?
Yeah, sure. Well, we're going to pick up on the Yule really. So the joint one would be Yule. And it's just really a recognition that through there are lots of winter festivals across different cultures, Diwali, and then there's this. So there's an interest in light during the dark. So Christmas is when the Christmas period is when the sun effectively dies in its orbit. It goes down and then it comes back up again. It rises again. It starts rising in the 25th itself. It's the 21st, I think. It stops. It's lowest. And during this period of time, there's so little light. I mean, it has been so dark for the last 3 days. We haven't been able to see anything properly.
Terrible.
And during that period of time, there's this interest in light and warmth. The period Yule itself is a festival, I guess, and a memory of making things light and warm. The Yule log, all those kind of things. So looking through it, not to go sort of too much into theological or religion really, but the people will look the story of the star in the sky. Someone worked out where the star formations would have been, and those formations would have been in the summer.
Yeah,
and then we had over in the pagans did a festival in the winter, and it was quite a nice fit the story of someone being born on the 25th to the time when the sun starts rising again, because it's sun.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but Yule itself is something that we quite we like to mark really, because it's a sort of a comforting feeling really that it's winter and there's some a chance to put on lights and candles and things like that.
Oh, brilliant! Have you had that to that, Amanda? No, that's brilliant. No, great story. Okay, Amanda, what's your name? Have you got one for us? Have you?
I do, yeah. This is about the Looney Duck. I don't know if that's pronounced right. It's about jumping into a freezing river to celebrate the New Year, because we love doing that, don't we? No.
I can imagine now something. I told this story before. I could see Eric doing this actually. I could.
Apparently, it was invented in 1986 when 3 locals jumped into the cold waters after the excesses of their New Year celebrations. They survived and decided to repeat the following year for charity, and they named the event the Looney Duck, which is short for lunatic, and duck is short for a Scottish term meaning bathe, so lunatic bathe.
Yeah. Eric, was this any relative of yours, possibly?
No. Interesting. Lunatic is someone who's influenced by the moon. It's lunar. Yeah, a lunatic.
Yeah.
Someone who was influenced by the moon, and the moon is madness. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great story.
We know someone that goes swimming in this weather, don't we? So they might do that.
Yeah, we've got a friend of ours. Ironically, she's a painter as well, actually, she is, and she's incredibly talented. And she likes to go swimming when I've done it recently, minus 4 and 5 at night time, she has.
Oh, God, it makes me cold just thinking about it.
Before we go back, you two got another story too, haven't you, as well? So
I'll bring up Mama's.
Bring up that one then. I've got one more story, and then we can let you two wrap up for us, I suppose.
Yeah, and there's Vicky's got one as well. So yeah, the Mama's fits in quite nicely with Vicky's Mary Cleave. So Mamas are a tradition to go around again to people's doors, but they play tricks. So it's there's a bit of a link with Morris. So that you've got these people who are, and I think I think today might be the 50th anniversary of the Wicker Man.
It is, isn't it? Yes,
it is. Yeah, and so the little plug for Rob there. I'll mention it. Hidden Britain have put out a Summer Isles apple, a Summer Isles apples crate. There's a competition up on their socials about it. But yeah, so in that the kind of the figures such as the hobby horse and the is it hobby horse and what's the other guy? Is this fox and things like that? They're mummers, and they are there to cause mischief. They are there to knock on your door, to basically play a bit of havoc. Really, the interesting thing is to me is that the Mary Cleave is absolutely revered. It blesses your house. It is only good, and yet it is a horse's skull. Whereas mummers aren't, and mummers are really annoying, and people found mummers to be an annoying habit. And there was an XTC album called Mummer, which sort of covers it. They're all dressed up as mummers in it. So yeah, to me, it's like the bad cousin of the Mary Cleave.
No, I've not heard that story. Never really know that.
No, look up mummers.
So I love getting you to get toward you, Eric. You come up with some interesting bits and pieces now. I've never heard of it. That's fascinating stuff, like.
Oh, thank you.
You do. How did you first find out about this myth then?
Mummers. I guess it's that you, it's living in the countryside, but also seeing parts of the folk traditions. There's a really good, really good BFI DVD about traditional customs. The one I mentioned, the burning tar barrel. I mean, that's children and adults running up and down a street with a burning tar barrel. There's also things like the cheese rolling, all these kind of customs. So that's where I picked it up.
I know the cheese rolling one. I know someone used to do that cheese rolling one.
The person who won it this time was knocked on. I think it was the last time they did it was knocked unconscious and won anyway.
I know someone's fractured a foot on it.
They ran down, bashed their head, was unconscious and fell down, rolled down faster than everyone else, and actually won it.
I'll tell you what Mike later, Amanda, who fractured a foot doing it. Right, I'm not going to, because the trouble is Amanda's met the person, so I can't have it on the camera, right? But let's just say about 6 pints of lager was involved in it, right? So it's not one bloody fault that one it was.
You shouldn't feel too much after that.
No, definitely not.
Right, anyway, I'll tell you my last story for this tablet. My cup runs out of battery. Is about the Yule Lads. Now, I didn't know this story, but apparently in Iceland, kids don't just get one Santa Claus. They get 13 mischievous trolls, apparently, roaming the country in the fortnight before Christmas. And they're called Yule Lads. Each has their own personality, and some of these are great names, okay? I've only got a couple of them, okay? You've got Doorway Sniffer, Spoon Licker.
I think I went on a date with him.
Sausage Swiper.
Spoon Lick is definitely an Aphex Twin track.
Yeah, so you learn every day there. You've got Candle Sniffer, you've got Curd Gobbler. The last one I've got here is Window.
That's definitely an XTC. Sorry, definitely an Aphex Twin track title. Yep.
Apparently what these do is they all take turns visiting children who leave shoes in their bedroom window, dropping off presents for the good kids. And rotting potatoes are the bad ones.
We've just got some Christmas decorations. Vicky brought some today. They're pheasants. They're all pheasants, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And pheasants and partridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not rotting ones.
Now remember this, Amanda. You two won't know is Amanda's younger sister has got just over a 1-year-old lad now. We can drum this into his head. Like if he misbehaves, he'll get rotted potatoes for Christmas. What do you reckon?
Won't be that cruel to you.
No, I won't get away with it. Not your sister, right? So, right, back to you two. I know you've got at least one more story for us today.
Vicky's got one.
I've got one I remember just a couple of days ago. The story of the Caganer.
The Caganer
from Catalonia.
Oh yeah.
And basically in Catalonia and other countries nearby, they don't have just the nativity scene as we have with the stable. They have the entire city as like a diorama, basically. And the most popular figure within this thing is a little guy somewhere squatting, taking a dump.
Yeah, he's what we read. He's wearing a traditional Catalonian hat, and he is, and it's something to do with the fact that he's eaten his Christmas dinner, and that's the result.
It's one of the theories.
The
other idea is that he's.
I'm wondering if Amanda's mum's cooking. I know.
He's just crouching down.
Yeah. The other theory of it is that by defecating, he is fertilizing the earth. Really great link to the birth of Jesus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those little gems you get from QI comes back into your head about 20 years after you heard it first.
It shows some stuff that just like random bits of information just suddenly reappear. You don't even always think about it until afterwards. Yeah, that definitely sounds like your mum's cooking along that does.
Different kind of Yule log, definitely.
You said it.
A lot of films are that, right? Or chocolate log or something. Anyway, right. Yeah, but this program might get taken off the air if we're not careful.
Told you about her.
I'm not. So,
do you want me to change the artwork?
You might have to, yeah, right.
So we got the man a little taller.
Yeah, do it, right. Brilliant stuff. Right, I want to thank you to everybody today. It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed this. So, I thank you, Amanda, of course, and thank you, Eric and Vicky. It's been an absolute hoot today. Because we've told these little outlines what we're going to do, but we haven't actually mentioned what the beat and bones behind it was. So, it's a pleasure. Now, obviously, since you're here as our guests, give us the plug where people can go to find plenty Wenlock records.
Well, I've got a link tree that I probably should use, but it's Plenty Wenlock. Is it Plenty Wenlock Records on Bandcamp?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so plentywenlockrecords.bandcamp.com. Pretty sure. Then it's the same, I think. Plenty Wenlock Records, Big Cartel. That's we generally sell the things like the cups and the prints on that. Then there's the social medias. It's Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. All Plenty Wenlock, not Plenty Wenlock Records. And then there's what was the other thing? So there's probably those, and that'll probably be it.
Sounds good to me. So, well, thank you both again. Thank you, Amanda. Right, I normally say we're now cloaking into the shadows. We're not in this case. We're cloaking into Christmas, aren't we?
Yeah, into the Christmas shadows. Cloaked in the shadows.
Okay, a PS. Eric.
Yes, okay. So something I missed out. My grandma was from the US, and she had a tradition that I didn't really question when I was younger, just accepted. But as I've got older, we've kept it up every year. We've tried to. It's baking onions. So you bake onions with tomato ketchup and
brown
vinegar.
Sauce. I love it. Brown sauce.
You bake them until effectively they almost fall to pieces, don't they? And then you serve them in this sauce. people would always have to have one. They would have one on their plate, and I could see sometimes people just sort of not know what to do with it. But yeah, baked onions. See if you can find the recipe with a tomato, ketchup, vinegar sauce. But
honey,
Vicky went,
little bit of honey.
A little bit of honey.
Yeah.
Amanda, would you try that?
I don't like onions.
No, she likes onions.
That's kind of the main ingredient.
Yeah. I'd give it a go with brown sauce, but she takes the piss at me if I've ever been with brown sauce.
Yeah, I have a lot of things with brown sauce. Guilty.
Anyway, folks, well, we'll wrap up this point again. So, happy Christmas all, you guys.
Hello, Clowen.
Cloaked in the shadows.